that my poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Langston Hughes was a renowned social activist whose work came mostly in the form of poems, plays, and novels.
Ruby Nell Bridges Hall is an American civil rights activist. She was the first African-American child to desegregate the all-white William Frantz Elementary School.
Kobe Bryant was a world-renowned basketball player. He won 5 NBA championships.
Ida B. Wells Barnett was a prominent journalist, activist, and researcher in the late 19th and early 20th centuries.
Rosa Parks was an American activist in the civil rights movement. One day, she refused to surrender her seat to a white passenger on a segregated bus.
Oprah Winfrey is an influential talk show host, author, actress, and media personality.
Harriet Tubman helped ensure the final defeat of slavery in the United States by aiding the Union during the American Civil War.
LeBron James is a professional basketball player who strives to be more than just an athlete.
Muhammad Ali is well known as the greatest boxer of all time.
Maya Angelou was a writer, actress, filmmaker, actor, and lecturer well into her 80s.
Booker T. Washington was an American educator and author who became one of the most prominent leaders in America.
Jackie Robinson is a very influential person in sports. He was the first African-American man to play in the MLB.
Thurgood Marshall was an American lawyer and civil rights activist.
Katherine Johnson was a NASA mathematician who helped send the first Americans into space and the first astronauts into space.
Duke Ellington was a prominent figure in the Harlem Renaissance for jazz, and he ultimately became the greatest jazz composer of all time.
Barack and Michelle Obama became the first African-American president and First Lady of the United States.
Jack Johnson was an American boxer who, at the height of the Jim Crow era, became the first African-American world heavyweight boxing champion.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a former professional basketball player and civil rights activist.
Malcolm X was an American Muslim minister who fought alongside Martin Luther King for black civil rights.
Martin Luther King Jr. was an activist who became the most visible spokesperson and leader in the civil rights movement. Dr. King has become a national icon in the history of American liberalism